You're live.
Hi, we're live. Okay, my partner in crime, Lindsay, is just uploading all of our and to Facebook. Welcome to Big Brother Breakdown 902. We're two Nova Scotian super fans that love the show. We do this weekly where we talk and break down the episodes, and at the end of our episodes, we usually give spoilers going on live feeds. Because we're Canadian and we have no access to the live feeds, we are going strictly on what our faithful Big Brother live bloggers are telling us in the Big Brother Twitter world. So we're kind of playing like secondhand to what they're saying, but we've opinions and their sense of humor. So we're going to add a little bit of that and what we've heard to the end of our episode. So if you don't want spoilers, it will be at the end of the episode, and we will give you a bit of warning if we're about to spoiler alert, like before that. So we're going to sum this episode up. The next episode of Big Brother is airing tonight. We're hoping to be done in about 30 to 40 minutes. So for anyone that is watching tonight live, thank you for joining us once again. We appreciate your support. We're good, Lynn?
We're good.
Good. Okay, so let's jump right into. So it was 2 episodes. I can't believe how long each episode was. First of all, 2 hours. Brother. Lots of crazy twists going on this season. So the first episode was all about the twist and introducing our viewership to. So the first twist was the 4 veteran house guests, and they came out of like a little trunk, and they ended up being Nicole, Davon, Frank, and James. And so Lindsay, because she won our last pool of 4, she got to pick first as to which 2 players she wanted on her team. You want to tell everyone who you picked?
I chose Davon and I chose Nicole. And I think Nicole is amazing. I think she's really funny. So she was my first choice. And Davon, I think she didn't get a chance to play really well last time, so I'm glad she's back.
I agree with you. They're very good choices. I would have definitely drafted Nicole had I had the opportunity, but I was a loser, so I would have picked, if I was first choice, I would have picked Nicole and I would have picked Frank. So incidentally, I got one of my 2 choices. So I got Frank and James. I'm excited to see their gameplay. They're both big gamers. They're both very loyal house guests. So I imagine whoever they align themselves with and whoever they're aligning themselves with currently, I think they're going to do well. I think they're going to go far. As we've seen the first few episodes, the veterans are sticking together and the newbies are wanting them out big time. So thus that brought us to our next twist, which was Big Brother putting them on teams, and the veterans were the first people to choose who they wanted on their team. So they were team captain, and it had to be opposite sex. And let's get right into that. So Nicole ended up choosing Corey because he's athletic, and also because I think she has a crush on him. I think it's very mutual.
I do not think she has a crush on him. Nope. I don't think she's playing with her. I don't think she's playing with her lower half this time. I think she's playing with her upper half, and she's all brain this time. I think she just thinks he's not the brightest person in the world, and she's like, she knows that, so she's manipulating him. I don't think she is attracted to him at all. Not to mention, and I won't go into it too much. I won't go into it too much, but what's his name? What's his name? The guy's name? Aaron, or what? This guy we're talking. Corey. He's like said some pretty racial or homophobic things, and so my point is that I don't think I think she knows he's an idiot. I don't think he's that smart. Although he's on my team and he was my first pick, so we'll see.
So Davon picked Paul, which was quite funny because she messed up saying Paul's name was Polly. And Polly was the aftermath of him getting chosen like 3rd or whatever, was like finally, like it was such a like the hot guy in high school doesn't get picked first, and he's like, what is going on here kind of reaction. And I kind of liked it. Like it was nice to see him kind of like not feel like he's the shit in this game like his brother was. Like not everyone's going to choose him first. So I kind of like that kind of normalized him a bit. What did you think of Davon's first choice of Paul?
It was good. Yeah. I don't know. Good.
Yeah. Okay. And then Frank chose Michelle because he couldn't remember names. And James chose Natalie, which I don't think was any surprise to us because he always, as much as he's strategic and loyal, he will play with his lower half as well. And Natalie's quite attractive, although he boiled it down to being athletic. And then the next round of choices were Corey choosing Tiffany, and Paul choosing Zakaya, and Michelle choosing Polly, and Natalie choosing Victor, and then Tiffany choosing Glenn, Zakaya choosing Polly choosing Bridget.
They chose teams.
Recapping for anyone that didn't watch it. So they all had to pick a team name. What was your favorite team name?
I don't know their names. I don't know. I don't have any sheet in front of me, so I don't really know. I was just like, let's play this game. It was so long. Sorry.
Yeah. It was Freakazoids. It was Big Sister. It was, what's Frank's team? Category 4, and it was Team Unicorn or something, which is kind of bizarre. Category 4 in terms of the names, but anyways, you didn't remember them, so apparently I was the only one that liked those hashtagging stuff that was going on. But sorry.
I zoomed through that because it was going on. No, I zoomed through because it was so long. I was like, oh my God, this is good. At this point, like I rewatched it and I was just like, oh my gosh, like it just went on forever. So I just skipped along. So I don't even know what you're talking about. They chose teams. That's good. They're all in the teams. I think the teams are stupid. I feel like I'm being very negative, but I just don't like what they're doing this season. Like, just play the game. Don't put all these like stipulations on this game. I'm annoyed by it. And it's coming off in this little like hangout thing we've got going on right now. Because I'm annoyed with Big Brother US. Canada would never pull this shit. I'm done.
Yeah, so we have a bit of Canadian pride. We have a bit of Canadian pride in terms of like standing up for our Big Brother Canada and their twists. I do think, I don't mind the teams. I think it's going to level out the fact that the newbies were going to go for the veterans. I think it'll kind of squash that for a few weeks anyway, forces them to get along and work together when, you know, they're on a team. Aside from that, I think that the other twists that they're throwing in, which we'll get to at the end of the episode, like I think one huge twist per like few weeks, at least like for at least 3 weeks, like for a quarter of the season is enough. Then you can add a new twist. Don't have one every week. It gets us too confused. And for super fans and can't really follow all this madness, it just turns them off and says, okay, I'm not going to watch Big Brother this year. It's too much to remember. It's too much to calculate. But for our super fans, like, of course, we're going to stay loyal and watch, right? Because we've been doing it for how many now?
No, I'll stay. I'll stay.
It's kind of my opinion on, yeah, we will stay. That's safe to say. I'll take notes for Lydia if she drifts off. Don't worry, guys. Kidding. So anyhow, so the competition, how cool is it? I thought it was pretty cool, the competition, the rocket competition, that they all had to stay on the rocket.
Oh, yeah.
That one person pretty much stayed to the final 3. So the final 3 ended up being Polly, Victor, and Corey. And Victor was the one who came out, you know, victorious for his team.
Yep.
And they ended up being safe for Victor's team. So Victor's team team leader is James. So they're all safe for 2 weeks from nominations, which is pretty sweet. That's a pretty good reward. I don't mind that reward. The third place team ended up getting cash money. So they got $10,000 split between them. So that's a pretty good incentive you know, to try, because not many people try for the first HOH, only the super competitive people. Nice to see that actually everyone was trying for this HOH and not just like fluffing it. Well, from what we saw anyway. And oh, the next twist, I guess that follows right into the next twist. So the next twist, number 3, is hit the road competition. So if you lose the competition, you compete against your teammates, and one of them will go home. So the next twist led into one of the house guests going home early on episode 2. And do we want to just fast forward to who went home?
Yes.
So Glenn ended up going home, and it was pretty grueling, like, meant for those 3 competitions, for all the host guests, just to know that like someone's going home at the end of this.
Yeah, it was sad. I felt bad for him because I don't think he really got a fair shot at, like, it's tough when you like don't even get a chance to play, like, kind of annoying.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because like, when he came in the house, like he was like, he's religious obviously, so he was like kissing his like hand and like looking to God and saying thank you, and so like he's probably like really excited to be playing this game, and it just like was luck that he didn't get it because it was down to him and what's his name, Corey, who I can't remember his name ever, and it was just like, it was sad. It was too early and he didn't really get a chance to play. Kind of a bummer.
And it was so close. That was the other thing. Okay?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, it wasn't just that he went home. It was so close. Like, they were down to the flag. Like, I couldn't believe how unbelievably close it was. And not to mention, a lot of their coconuts on both sides, they fell off as they were like picking the flag out. So that was kind of interesting too. Those photo finish wins, I always want to see the photo finish. They always say, oh, it ended up being this person, but they never actually show like the photo finish, this is who won. I'd like to see it in slow-mo, because sometimes I'm not trusting the person actually won.
So they showed a video of them grabbing it in slow-mo. You saw that, didn't you? Well, they did.
I don't remember.
Yeah, and what they showed was they both got it at the same time, but the difference is that Corey's coconuts were all still on the SOS, and 2 of Glenn's had fallen off, so that's why he won. Like, they did both grab it at the same time,
okay,
but his coconuts fell off. So
yeah.
I also found it kind of cute that like Nicole's whole like social media handles are all like Nicole Coconuts and stuff like that. So it was kind of fitting that she did well in that competition.
Yeah, agreed. The other thing is we knew Nicole was going to do well anyway. If she didn't come out first, she would definitely not be going home, because she, like, from past Big Brothers, she's successfully won so many competitions. So if it comes down to a competition season, which it seems like it's going to be, like there's going to be a lot of comps from what I can tell from the first 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I think friends are here to all 4 of them, aside from Davon, because she didn't really have the opportunity to prove herself in competitions because she got voted out so early. But the other 3 have historically done really well in competition. So I think that they'll end up staying farther along than some of the newbies anyway. What else do we want to talk about? Oh, so do we want to talk about some of the showmances we think are going to happen this season from what's been shown so far? Predictions on that?
I think that Victor is going to hook up with everybody. I don't know. One person I really, really, really don't like is, well, I don't like Paul. I think he's an idiot. He's too heated. And then the other person I don't like is, and I'm really sad because I really wanted him to be big, like a good player, and he's driving me nuts, is, oh, I'm looking at the board. I don't know his name. He's like Josiah. Yeah. I find him annoying. He's just so conceited and like, oh my gosh, not for me. I think the health nut, the nutritionist, I don't like her. I gotta say, early days, first couple viewings, I'm not a fan of this cast yet. And it's like, I needed to get better. I needed to get better really quickly. I'm really not committed right now. I don't know if it's coming off that I'm not committed, but I'm just like, nah, right now. And like, that's not how I felt with last season Big Brother Canada. And last season Big Brother was pretty good, but like, oh, like Austin and the twins. I get better, Big Brother. Get better, Big Brother US, because this is not good. That's how I feel.
For the most part, I'm enjoying it. I have some favorites and I have some predictions on my showmances. So the predictions on showmances, I think Victor and Natalie are most definitely gonna hook it up. I think Nicole, as much as she wants to be single in this game this time, I think she's either gonna sway herself towards Corey or towards Frank. Although I read that Frank might be liking what Tiffany's offering, Vanessa's sister, so that's a possibility. But I definitely think there's going to be many budding showmances. I would really like to see how Bronte would react in a showmance of some sort. I think it would be interesting dynamic. A lot of the Twitter world wants Bronte and Paul together. I don't think that would be like the best compatibility, but we'll see. In terms of favorites, I'm really, really, really loving my Bridget. So my Emerge nurse, traveling Emerge nurse, she's awesome. She's coming off much more chill than I thought she'd originally be. She's really melting with all of the personnel the first couple episodes. She's on a solid team, and I think she has very good potential of making it far as long as she hooks up with the veterans. Because I think in terms of the alliances, I know that there's the Paul, Josea, Zakaya or whatever her name is, their alliance, kind of the villainous. Yeah, that alliance is going on, and then the veteran alliance. And aside from that, I don't see any other alliances forming. So if Bridget being smart,
if the veteran alliance people were able, and I think that they kind of have Polly, and if they were able to get Tiffany, they'd be really, really strong. So I hope that they can figure out how to get Tiffany too, because that would be really good. But we haven't seen it in a couple days, and I don't know what's happening. And I'm trying to keep up with the US feeds and stuff, but it's just not the same. So I don't really know. I mean, I'll watch it tonight and see what happens. So we didn't really say who won HOH though.
We didn't, did we? We graced over that. So the HOH comp was picked from between the three of them, and Nicole really masterminded it, from what I could tell from the clips that they showed on the show, of making them think that they didn't want the first HOH when really she really wanted it, because she wanted to make sure that her veterans stay safe and that she stays safe. And so I'm really happy she won it. I'm kind of baffled by her putting Paulie on the block when she kind of pulled him in to the veteran alliance as an ally, and then all of a sudden she's putting one of her allies on the block. I think that's super risky. I think Paulie will be able to pull it off, because it seems to me that he has a great social game thus far, but I don't think that's a move that I would have chosen to do. I know she wants to secure Josea going home, but in terms of Josea actually like following through with getting Nicole out of the house, because everyone's telling her that he's targeting her, I don't think that he's the brains and the bronze behind that operation. I think it's very much Paul behind it. And I think what it would have been the smartest thing to do would be to put Paul and Josea on the block, and then at least she would have got one of the like villain alliance out, and secured one less person going after the veteran alliance. But that's my opinion. But I don't think she was even thinking that Paul was on to her radar, like in terms of wanting her out. So I don't know. But anyhow, so she ended up putting Paulie and Jose are on the block as it stands right now. So, and we won't spoil anything until a few minutes from now when we'll go into what we've read about beads. So what are your thoughts on Nicole's noms? Were you happy with them?
Yeah, I was surprised that she put up Paulie, especially since she's working with them. And obviously I looked at his brother's, Corey's Twitter feed, and it was like, what the heck? Why would he allow himself to go up there? And like, it seemed weird that he let it happen and she let it happen. But yeah, I was really happy that she got it. She had to do it. And I think like no one ever really wants HOH at the first because it's like a dirty job, but because she's been in it, it was a smart move for her to take it. I don't necessarily agree. Like when Victor came and said like, this is my boy, blah, 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 she should have put him and her, like him and Victor up. But anyway, whatever. We'll see what happens. And then apparently there's a third person on there, but that third person won a veto. I don't know why or how. I don't know if another person's going up in replace of that. So if there's 3 noms, I don't really understand. So.
Okay, so we're about to get into spoilers. So for anybody that does, you can turn us off now. Thanks for tuning in. We love you. So we're about to do Spoilerville. So spoiler is, I'll go right along with the first episode when they had all those bills. Spoilerville is, from what I understand, of course, I'm just getting fed through Hamster Watch. Thank you, Hamster Watch. We will do a much needed shout out to you because I rely on you heavily now that Canada doesn't have access to feeds. So apparently there's a roadkill competition that involves an RV, and what takes place is there's a third nomination that takes place with this roadkill competition. And from what I understand, the person that wins the roadkill competition, which it must be a secret competition because nobody in the house really knows who won it from what I can read and tell. So anyways, Frank won it and he nominated Paul, and then he also gets to choose 3 nom if the veto is used. And so Paul gets put on the block, and then incidentally, from what I can tell, and correct me if I'm wrong, Twitter world, Paul wins the veto. And so it looks like he'll take himself off the block, and then Frank will be in control of who gets put back up. So that's the roadkill competition from what I understand. And if I'm not correct, please.
I was just going to say, do you know who Frank's putting back up? Because I do. Or putting up in replace?
I don't. Who's he putting up in his place?
Bridget.
What? Really? Why?
I don't know. I just read an article on it that he's putting up Bridget, and she doesn't know it's coming because she's so nice. Maybe it's just like because like no one will really vote her out, and then they'll go after Josiah. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Devastated.
Yeah.
I don't think she'll go home though. I think that's probably what the veterans, because they really want Josiah out because Josiah's going for the veterans when really it's Paul. But anyway, that's probably what they're doing, is trying to solidify that, because why would Frank put somebody on his team up? Really?
Wait 1 second. Anyway, he put up, it was just announced 2 minutes ago. They nominated Bridget.
Oh my. But well, what can you do? She's on the block. I don't think she'll go home unless there's something that goes completely aloof and Paul ends up convincing all the newbies that Josiah is more beneficial. But I think Bridget will end up staying, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So in saying that, so if it's Bridget, Josiah, and Polly on the block, who do you think will go home? The votes are going to be more divided now.
I'm not sure. I can't really. I mean, I'm like, oh yeah, definitely Josiah, but really it's only the veterans, and Polly can't vote. And so I don't know, like, who's going up there. I'm not really sure. Or who's going home, sorry. I don't know why I think Bridget's a pawn, because I don't think she knew she was going up, so that's weird. And then the other person is who? Oh, Polly. Maybe, because, I mean, his brother played the game, and he has lots of tips and tricks, so they might go after him. I'm not sure. Like, I need to watch tonight to kind of understand. But I don't, with 3 people being up, it can go anyway. You?
Yeah, and I think that it'll make it interesting. I think the reason they might have made this new twist of 3 people on the block is because they don't feel one-sided or something. It still can make the house one-sided if they all target a particular player and vote them out. But with 3 people being up, it makes it harder to differentiate. I can't even get my words out. Like who voted for who. Like, yeah, my English is left now. So I'll let Lindsay take that word over. But like, it just makes it harder to like figure out who voted for who out of the house. Do you know what I mean? Like if it's only like 1 or 2 people voting for this person, and like the rest of the house voting for like Polio, for example, because they don't want to get caught keeping the person they want it. There's more probability of, you know, keeping the person they actually want it now with the 3 people on the block, because the vote is more divided. So I think that's kind of cool, and it'll spice it up a little bit when it does come for voting day and elimination day. So I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm excited to see how it goes. I just hope Bridget, fingers crossed, she doesn't get voted out, because she's my girl. I'm Team Bridget all the way.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully tonight get some more inside, because I don't know what's happening. But tonight is just going to be like,
we're definitely gonna.
Tonight's just going to be like Paul goes up on the block and there's a third nom. Like there's not going to be tons of information tonight. Really, we have to wait until Wednesday for like all this to kind of like what we know now is Wednesday's show, not tonight. So,
yeah.
Oh, the power to be. Give us live feeds. Screw you, America. So annoyed.
We will pay more. I would live feeds. Honest to God, I would pay more than the average American to get live feeds Canadian, because you're not seeing the full story. I tell people this all the time, but you're not seeing the full story without live feeds. So Big Brother US, I would even pay double. I'm willing to put my money on the table and pay double for feeds. I will pay more, double, than US residents to watch feeds. And I'm not sure if every other Canadian would do that, but I'm willing to barter that some would.
I'm sure they're watching this.
I'm sure they are, and they're tuning in and seeing our insight with our viewership. But anyway, if there is some Big Brother God and you are listening, please, Canadians will pay more to watch the feeds.
That Canadian will.
The super
that
fans
one,
will.
not this one. That one. Not this one.
All right, that pretty much sums it up for tonight. We actually do have our date for next week. If you guys want to tune in again next week with us, we're going to be doing it on Tuesday at 9 p.m. next week. So if you're interested in hearing our thoughts,
not this Tuesday, the week after.
The week after. So Tuesday, July 5th. So after Canada Day and after Independence Day. So July 5th, we're going to have our next episode. Lindsay's going home for Canada Day to Nova Scotia. So she's going to be busy with friends and family back. Woohoo! It's right. I'm very jealous. I'll be going home shortly though. So soon enough, I'll get my taste of home. So again, thanks to everyone that tuned in to us live tonight and that watches us after the fact live, or not live, but after the fact. We appreciate every single person that comes and listens to our opinions of Big Brother. So thanks. Have a good evening. Have fun with Big Brother tonight.